So clear? So don't bother about the here, who need image files, who need installation documents. So I will share you. Okay. So don't worry. So abhi jo main bol raha hu. So what I'm trying to teaching to you peoples now, please concentrate on that. If you are unable to understand the file system hierarchy, it's a bit difficult to you peoples to understand the Linux. So because of that reason, please concentrate. Okay. Yeah, it's a Unix session. Yes, it's a Linux session. Right? Okay, so let's start the session, guys. So please concentrate. Guys, how to install the operating system into physical machine? Maybe you purchase one new laptop. You doesn't have the operating system into your laptop, right? So you need to install the operating system into your laptop. How you're going to install? So do you know how to install the operating system? Leave about Linux. So how we need to install the Windows operating system? Maybe if you purchase the very good, super. So Vishal, so pen drive, with the help of pen drive. So first of all, we need to download the image file related to our operating system. For example, so I'm trying to installing the Windows operating system, guys. Guys, I'm providing some details about Windows. I'm going to compare the Linux with Windows, then easily you can able to get. So about file system hierarchy. So please concentrate here. Okay. So now how to install the operating system? We need image file, first of all, image file. So ISO image file we should download from the internet. With the help of this image file, we need to create the bootable DVD or pen drive. Okay. So DVD or pen drive we need, and we need ISO image file we need. For example, I'm installing the Windows 10 operating system into my laptop. We need a Windows 10 ISO image. We should download this ISO image from the internet. With the help of this ISO image, we are going to create the bootable DVD and bootable pen drive using few third-party applications like Nero Burning Room, and then we'll have the roofers. So using the roofers, it's a very easy to download from the internet. You can create, it's not a big deal. Yes. Bootable means with the help of this device, you are going to start the mission. Starting. Bootable means with the help of the device, we are going to start the mission. Starting, booting, both are same. Starting is our general terminology. Booting is a technical terminology, right? So now I'm going to create one bootable device. It may be pen drive, it may be DVD. This bootable device, I'm going to connect to my laptop. That's it, no? So system, or you can say PC. I'm going to connect the bootable device or bootable DVD to my system, right? So after connecting this bootable device to my system, what we need to do? We need to reboot the system. We need to restart the system. We'll have the restart button, right? So you should press that restart button, automatically it will start. Now onwards, you're connected one device, right? So now we need to get the device, we need to detect this device. So how we need to get this device in the sense? With the help of BIOS, right guys? We need to reboot the mission. We should enter into the BIOS. BIOS. BIOS will form basic input output system. So BIOS will form basic input output system, guys. Okay. So how we need to enter into the BIOS? It depends upon motherboard manufacturer. That means it depends upon your laptop vendor brand. Okay. So for example, we'll have the function keys. So we'll have the function keys from F1 to F12 function keys we are going to use. And few motherboard manufacturers, they will provide delete key and escape key also. Escape key also. With the help of those delete keys and escape keys, we are going to provide the, we are going to enter into the BIOS. Clear, guys? So I hope you got it. So how we need to enter into the BIOS? We should reboot the mission using the reboot key, or otherwise Control Alt Delete also you can use, it will reboot. And then after that, you need to press F1 to F12. So maybe it depends upon your motherboard manufacturer, they will provide the one key, function key, to enter into the BIOS. Few motherboard manufacturers, they will provide delete key and escape key also. Using those keys, we need to enter into the BIOS. Inside the BIOS, we'll have the one option called first boot. Boot option will have, inside the boot option, we'll have the first boot, guys. Clear? I hope you got it. So how to enter into the BIOS? Using function keys or delete key or escape key. Inside the BIOS, we'll have the option called boot. Inside the boot option, first boot, second boot, third boot, fourth boot, like this we'll have. In first boot, we need to select our bootable device. For example, if you're using DVD to install the operating system, in first boot, we need to select the DVD. So if you're using pen drive to install the operating system, we need to select the pen drive. Automatically the device, it will detect, okay? Clear, guys? So here I'm selecting the pen drive to install the operating system. Right, guys? I hope you got it. Right. Now, what we need to do, what we did the changes into the BIOS, we should save the changes. Got it? So we did few changes into the BIOS. We need to save those changes. How to save those changes? So we'll have the one shortcut key called F10 to save. Right. So F10 to save. Then what we should do? We need to reboot the operating system. So we need to reboot the operating system. Clear, guys? I hope you got it. So clear. So we need a DVD or pen drive. So with the help of few third-party application, we need to create the bootable DVD or pen drive. Then we should connect the DVD pen drive to this mission, and we need to reboot the mission. We should enter into the BIOS using function keys, and then so we'll have the option called boot. Inside the boot, we'll have the first boot device. First boot we'll have there. We need to select the device, and we should save the change, and we need to reboot the mission, guys. Okay. So now, if you rebooting the mission, it will start along with this pen drive. So this is a bootable device now. It is helping to us to start the mission, right? Now, with the help of this pen drive, we are going to install the operating system. Installing the operating system means we are extracting all the files inside the secondary storage device. So what is the secondary storage device here? Hard disk, right? In our mission, in our laptop, will have the hard disk. Assume this is a 1 TB hard disk. 1 TB hard disk, right? So now by default in Windows, you will get the C drive. That's it. Huh? If you're connecting the hard disk, it having the C drive letter, right? So now I'm installing the operating system into the C drive. That's it now, guys. Now my question is, why C drive? Why not A? Why not B? Yes, if you're connecting the device, so by default, why Windows operating system, it is providing the C drive, will have the A to Z drive letters. So what about A and what about B? Why it's assigning the C? Super. Who's that guy? Kapil. A and B is used for floppy drive. Very good, guys. So Manjunath also, good answer. So A and B, it is reserved for floppy drive. You'll have the one secondary storage device called floppy in olden days. So we are going to store the data into the floppy drive. 4 MB floppy, 8 MB floppy will have. We are going to store the data like pen drives, but it will be looking a little bit bigger, right? So we are going to A and B, it is going to reserve for floppy, guys. Floppy drive. Floppy. C, it reserved for hard disk. So I hope you got it. So why? By default, we are getting the C drive letter if you're connecting the hard disk into your Windows operating system, right? So now I'm trying to installing the operating system into the C drive. C drive. So where you are installing the operating system, most of the people, they're thinking they're installing the operating system into the C drive letter. C is a one drive letter. In Linux terminology, we are going to call it's a one mount point. Clear? Actually, we are not installing the operating system into the C drive letter. We are installing the operating system into the hard disk. For example, in this building, right? So we are doing offline classes also, right? So in this building, right? So if you doesn't know the Linux classroom number, how you can able to attend the class? Can we able to attend the class? So here we'll have the 4 floors, right? Each floor having the two classrooms, right? Right? So we are conducting the class in ground floor now, right? So if you doesn't know the classroom number and then classroom floor name, floor number, can we able to attend the class, guys? It's possible. Like the same way, you're connected one device. If you doesn't have the device name like classroom name, how you can able to store the data into that particular device? I hope you got it, guys. Right? C is a one drive letter to access that particular device. So because of that reason, most of the people, they are saying like, we are going to install the operating system into the C drive, because C by default, it is going to assign for secondary storage device. That means hard disk. I hope you got it. So actually, where we are installing the operating system, not only operating system, your personal data, your official data in Windows will have one directory called reverse slash. Under reverse slash, we are installing the operating system, we are installing our personal data, and we are installing our official data and everything. I hope you got it, guys. C is a one drive letter to identify the device. Right, guys? Okay, so this building having the 4 classrooms, assume this, right? So now I'm trying to creating the one more partition. So assume this, each partition is a one classroom. So one classroom, so maybe HTML class they're conducting. In one classroom, Java class they're conducting. In other classroom, maybe .NET class they're conducting. In another classroom, Linux class they're conducting. So how the people they're going to attend the class? With the help of classroom number. Those 4 classrooms, it will be available into the same place itself only. This is one building, maybe it having the 2,800 square feet. In this 2,800 square feet, they divide into the multiple partition, they create the 4 classrooms here. Like the same way, here also, the total 1 TB hard disk, we are divided into the multiple partitions according to our requirement. So this is one block and this is another block. So how you're going to identify this block? With the help of the drive letter. Windows having one good feature, automatically it is going to assign one drive letter to this particular device to access the device. I hope you got it, guys. Yes, no. Most of the people, so they doesn't know where we are storing the data in Windows. So usually if you want, you can change the drive letter according to your requirement. It's possible. Okay, got it, guys. So we'll have the A to Z. If you want, you can create the more than Z also. AA, AB, AC, AD, AE, like this. Again, A to Z will get. BA, BB, BC, BD, like this. You can create the number of the partitions. It's not a big deal. So I hope you're clear about Windows. Yes, no. How to install the Windows operating system. Good. Guys, I'm unable to show you because we are doing online classes also here. So installation, we are unable to do in physical mission. Remember, if I'm doing the like installation in physical mission, then what will happen? ये काम कीजिए यार. Give me 1 minute, guys. can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, guys? Right. So let's start the Linux session. I hope you know how to install the operating system, Windows operating system into physical machine, and then as well as so how we need to divide the partitions and those all stuff. So actually we are not storing the data into the drive letter. We are storing the data inside the forward slash. Sorry, reverse slash. Here we'll have the reverse slash, right? So sir, English, there is 26 letter. If I create 26 partition in the name ABCD. See, that is what I'm saying. Where are you? Samriti. See, huh? Ranjan. See guys, A to Z, right? If you need to create the more than 26 partition, you can. A again you'll get. You'll get the drive letter A, then AB, then AC. Like this, again you can create. Who's going to create these many partitions, guys? Everybody, they're using cloud, right? The cloud storage. So in physical machine, who is going to create these many partition, right? Samriti, got it? Okay, good. So let's see, guys, coming to Linux, remember, we doesn't have any drive letter concept. Clear? Coming to Linux, we doesn't have any drive letter concept, right? So without drive letter concept, can we able to store the data? It's possible. See, simple guys, without knowing your classroom name and number, can we able to attend the class? Like the same way here, if you doesn't have the drive letter, how you can able to store the data, how you are going to identify the device? It's a bit difficult to us, right? So here, coming to Linux, we doesn't have the drive letter concept. So how we need to store the data? Yes, how we are going to install the operating system? Where we need to install the operating system? So here we'll have the hierarchy. That is called file system hierarchy. It's a one tree structure. So tree structure means tree having roots, stem and branches. Like the same way, here also we'll have one tree structure, right? So here, where we are going to store the data in the sense under forward slash. Forward slash is a one directory. Directory means folder. In Windows, generally we are going to call folder. Coming to Linux, here we need to call directory. The terminology is different, both are same. If you want, you can say directory or folder. But if you are a Linux student, so if you're working as a Linux administrator, we need to call directory. Forward slash is a one directory. It's a one folder. Clear? So you can say it's a top level directory. Parent directory for all other directories. You can say it's a root directory. Whatever if you want, you can call. Top level directory. Excuse me, guys. Parent directory for all other directories, and it's a root directory. Clear? Top level directory, parent directory for all other directories, or root directory, whatever if you want, you can say. Simple, guys. In this directory, we'll have the multiple directories again. Subdirectories. Parent and child. Parent and child. Simple. For example, so by default, you need to learn the courses in the sense. So you're going to looking in which area? You need to learn the course in Hyderabad. So by default, which area is famous in Hyderabad to learn the courses? So always Amirpet, right? So Amirpet is a one top level directory. Amirpet, how many institutions will have? So we'll have the number of the institutions in Amirpet. Those all the institution peoples, they are teaching same course or different courses. So some people, they are teaching different courses, right? That's it, no? That means those all the institution people, they're providing the different services for us. According to our requirement, we are going to get the service from those institutions. But don't join into another institution. We'll have all the courses in Naresheti, okay? Right. So clear. I hope you got it, guys. So /, I'm trying to comparing with Ameerpet, guys. And Ameerpet will have the number of the directories. If you're installing the operating system, so in our /, all the files and directory it will extract. It may be your personal data, it may be your official data, it may be your operating system data, everything it is going to store under /. Because of that reason, we are calling it's a top level directory. It's a parent directory for all other directories. Clear? So yesterday, I think not yesterday, in last class Friday, while we are trying to installing the operating system, how many partitions we created? What are they? Root, boot, swap, home is optional, right? If you want, you can create, or otherwise you can leave it. Root /. Under root directory, so we'll have all the data. I hope you got it, guys. Right. So inside the root directory, how many partitions we'll have, we'll see. What type, how many directories we'll have, we'll see. What type of services those directories it is providing for us, we need to know. Simple, guys. You are installing few softwares. So the software by default, where it will store, you should know, na? Right? You are executing the commands. So from where you are executing the commands from your operating system, you should know. Then only you are going to become as a system administrator. Without knowing the operating system, how you can able to become as a system administrator? Tell me. So we should have the knowledge about our file system hierarchy. Then only you can able to understand. While you are trying to executing the commands, while you are trying to installing the services. So by default, where the service it will store. If you try to creating the files, if you try to creating the directories, by default, where it will store. Those all the stuff we should know. Now I'm going to teach you. Clear? Yes, no? Do you have any doubts, any questions? Good? Good. So what about online? Vaibhav? Kapil? Good. So let's see, guys, here. No doubts, good. Yeah. So let's see, guys, here. Under /, so we'll have one directory called /root. /root. Why slash, guys? The slash, it will represent top level directory. Under /, we'll have the one more directory called root, root. Okay, it's a child directory. So this is a parent directory and it's a child directory. Clear? Now, /root is a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. Guys, please make a note. /root is a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. Clear? So what is the meaning of that? /root is the home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. So I hope you're clear. So what is the meaning of that? Yes. Okay. So I hope you know very well about Windows, right? So maybe most of the people, 90% people, they're going to use the Windows operating systems only in their laptops. Okay. How many user accounts will have in Windows? Yes, ma'am. How many user accounts will have? 2 users. What are they? Administrator and guest user. That's it, no? Yes, no? So active, guys. So be active. One can operating. Only one can operate at the time. I'm unable to understand. Admin. guest. So two user accounts will have admin and guest usually. So you can create the multiple user accounts. That is a different story. We can able to log in with the help of only one user, right? So like the same way in Linux also, we'll have root user and the normal user. Guys, please concentrate. Okay. Now you have the Windows laptop. Okay. Now you completed your course. So you are attending the one interview. So for attend the interview, what you need? Resume, curriculum vitae. We need resume, right? So how you're going to prepare the resume, guys? Which application you're going to use to prepare the resume in Windows? Always Word. Very good, Naresh. Okay. So Word is a MS Word is a one application. We are going to use this MS Word application. So we are, according to our requirement, we are going to prepare the resume, right? Okay. So now I need to save this document. How you are going to save the document? Control S. So usually most of the people, they are going to use Control S to save the document. Clear? I hope you got it. Yes. So Control S is a option to save the document. So I close this document. After that, after a few times, so I need to add few more content inside that particular document. So from where you are going to get this document, guys? You didn't provide any location to save that particular document. So D drive, E drive like this. Just use the Control S, you close this document, that's it. So how you are going to get this document? From where we'll get? By default, where it will store? Super. So Manjunath. So inside the documents and settings, we'll have the one document folder in Windows. For example, I am logging as an administrator into my operating system. I am preparing my resume. I save this resume document. The document by default, where it will store inside the documents folder. This document folder, it belongs to administrator document. That's it, no? The document folder, it will act like as a one home directory. If you try to creating any document with the help of admin user account, by default, those all the documents, it will store into the documents folder. Like the same way, coming to Linux, if I'm logging as a root user, if I'm creating the files and directories, by default, those all the files and directories, it will store inside the /ROOT. I hope you got it. I'm logging as a root user. So I'm trying to creating few files with the help of few commands, touch command, cat command. I'm going to use few commands. I'm trying to creating few directories and files using mkdir command, right? So by default, those files and directories, where it will store, it is going to store under /ROOT. Make a note. /ROOT is a home directory for root user. /ROOT is a home directory for root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. It will provide the default work environment for the root user. I hope you got it, guys. Online. Clear? Yes, no? Good. So my good बोलना चाहिए आप लोगों के पास ये response नहीं आ रहा यार. Huh? Right. /home is a home directory for normal user. So /home is a home directory for normal user. So it will provide the default work environment for normal user. Guys, please make a note. /home is a home directory for normal user. It will provide the default work environment for normal user. Guys, how many normal users we can create? Guys, in Linux, we can able to, especially in RHEL 7.0 as well as in 8.0 version, you can create 60,000 user accounts by default, right? Recommended more than 450,000. That many user accounts we can create. Okay, so he's a root user. Okay, he have his own home directory. The root user, if he's creating the files and directories, by default is going to store inside the /ROOT. So you're clear about that. Okay. Now slash home is a home directory for normal user. So yesterday, how many user accounts we created? That means in last class, already by default, we'll have the root user. We provide the password to the root user. And then I have created one more user called student, right? So we have two user accounts now in our operating system. One is root user, another one is student. Like this, I'm trying to creating the 20 user accounts. Student, U1, U2, U3, U4, like this users I have created. So for 20 user, one directory is enough, guys, to store the data. So your peoples, how many peoples will have? So maybe 25 peoples will have in offline, and then in online we'll have the more than 120 peoples will have. Okay, right? So here, so around 150 peoples will have, guys. आप सब लोगों को एक छोटा क्लासरूम दे दिए तो so it's okay. It's okay. Can we able to like teach the class, and can we able to sit here? So it's a bit difficult to us. So like the same way, if I'm creating the multiple user account, the multiple users, if they're creating the files and directories, all the files and directories, it is storing into the slash home, then what will happen? So we are going to get confused to get the data to the particular user. Okay. So because of that reason, let's see here. Student is a one user account, right? Student is a one user account, and I'm trying to creating few users, right? So U1 is a one user. So we'll have two different user accounts, right? Guys, remember, while you are trying to creating the user account, automatically inside the home directory, in the name of the student, in the name of that particular user, one directory it will be created like this. Home student. So forward slash, inside the forward slash we'll have the home. Under home we'll have again one more directory called student. So for U1, home, U1. Got it. So I hope you're clear, guys. Automatically inside the home directory, one directory it will be created. So for example, I'm creating one user called Vaibhav. So automatically inside the home directory, in the name of Vaibhav, one home directory it will be created for Vaibhav. If the Vaibhav is trying to creating few files and directories, by default it is going to store inside the home Vaibhav directory. So clear, guys? So because of that reason, so you can say slash home is a home directory for normal users. So commonly we are going to store the data inside the home. Inside the home, we are going to get some subdirectories. That is a different story in the name of that particular user account. I hope you got it, guys. So student user home directory is home student, and U1 user home directory is home U1. Clear? Got it? Slash home is a home directory for normal user. It will provide the default work environment for the normal user. Clear? Good. Next. Slash boot. So slash boot is a directory. It contains all the bootable files, guys. So bootable files and bootloaders will have. Okay. So bootable files and bootloaders will have. So slash boot contain all the bootable files. Guys, what is a bootable file? So what is the use of bootable files, guys? Do you have any idea? So you need to boot the system. We should have the bootable files, right? So that means we need to start the system in the sense we should have the bootable files. Like in Windows, you will get some errors few times. Boot.img is missing, NTLDR is missing, press any key to continue. Like this errors you will get, and you will get one black screen. That's it. You are unable to get the operating system. Why you are getting like this errors? Why you are unable to reach the operating system? Those bootable files, it got corrupted. If you doesn't have the bootable files, so you are unable to reach your operating system. Clear? Got it? So simple, guys. I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Right? I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Bangalore. So how I'm going to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore? So we need one vehicle. It may be bus, it may be train, it may be bike, it may be car. So we should have one vehicle. With the help of those vehicles, we are going to reach our destination. That's it, no? Like the same way here. Okay. How to correct it? Which one? So let's see here. So now we need one vehicle to reach our destination, right? Clear? Like the same way, if you power on the button, guys, so please try to concentrate here. So we'll discuss later about those all stuff. Okay. We doesn't have those all stuff in our syllabus. Okay. Suman, Kumar. So यहाँ पे जो file system hierarchy पढ़ा रहा हूँ ना, so I'm teaching file system hierarchy. Please concentrate on that. Okay. So if we have the time after completing the session, then I will tell you. Okay. So we doesn't have the bootable files, how to recover and those all stuff here. So already I shared the course content to you people. So please try to go through the course content, right? /BOOT contain all the bootable files, right? So for example, I'm starting the mission. So power on, we need to use the power on switch. So we should power on that. Okay. The mission, it is starting. So finally, we need to reach to our operating system. Finally, we need to reach to our operating system. With the help of those bootable files, we are reaching our operating system. Those bootable files, it will act like as the vehicles. How I'm trying to reaching the destination from Hyderabad to Bangalore using few vehicles, like the same way here, the bootable files, it will act like as a vehicles. So it will help to us to get the operating system, to reach the operating system. I hope you got it, guys. Yes, no, good. So inside the boot, right? Inside the boot, so we'll have few bootloaders. Right? So grub, G-R-U-B, grub full form, grand, G-R-A-N-D, grand, unified bootloader version 2. Grub full form, grand, G-R-A-N-D, grand, unified bootloader. So version 2. So by default, we'll have, so this grub 2 version in RHEL 8.0 as well as in 7.0 version. Okay. Yes, grand unified bootloader version 2. Good, Kapil. Okay. So now coming to older version. So grub by default will have this grub in 6.0 and LILO, this is a very old bootloader, will have this version in 5.0, 4.0 and 3.0 and 2.0 versions, right? Clear, guys? So clear? So we'll have LILO into the older version. Clear? Good. So grub2 contain kernel images, init RAM images. Don't bother about those all stuff. We'll have the one chapter called Linux loader. LILO full form, Linux loader. Okay. Clear, guys? We'll have the one chapter called boot process. At the time, I will give you the much information about grub and kernels and those all stuff. Don't worry. Okay. So clear, guys? Yes, Linux loader only. Got it, guys? Yes, no? Good. So those all the bootloaders will have inside the /boot. Yes. We'll have the system 32, no? Inside the system 32, you will have the bootable files in Windows. Okay. Right? Clear? Yes, no? Good. So next, /etc. So etc contain all the configuration files, right? So etc contain all the configuration files. Okay. So etc contain all configuration files, right? So configuration files means blindly remember etc contain all the configuration files, right? Give me 1 minute. Okay, so etc contain all configuration files. Blindly remember etc having the configuration files. So what is mean by configuration files, guys? So to whom we need to call configuration file? What is the use of configuration file? Hmm? Hmm. So let's see here. I'm creating one user account, right? Student is a one user I have created. I need a student user properties. What type of user it is, what type of properties will have. So whether we can able to log in with the help of this user account or not. So those all the properties, while you are trying to creating the user account, by default, it is going to store into the one configuration file. Like this configuration files we are going to get from the etc. For example, I'm installing the one service. Guys, remember, so anyway, here we doesn't have the services. So in basic Linux, if you're installing the any service, right? Three things it will happen. It will create one user account. It will create one home directory. It will create one configuration file. For example, I am installing the web service, guys. HTTPD is a one protocol. It's a one package we need to install for web service in Linux operating system. If you installing the service, right? So automatically one user account it will create called Apache, right? The username is Apache for web server. It will create one home directory var www.html. It will create one configuration file called http.conf inside the etc. Clear, guys? So according to my requirement, I need to manage the web server. For example, so few peoples they need to access the website. Few peoples they should not access the my website. I need to avoid. How you're going to avoid? How you're going to give the instruction to your web server with the help of that configuration file. Port number where you are going to change in configuration file itself only, na? Right? So usually port, it's not a port number. We need to restrict to the particular network. If you want to can change the port number because of security, by default it having the 80 port number, you can change the port number. It's not a big deal. So where we need to change the port number inside the configuration file itself only. Where we need to provide the network details inside the configuration file only, we should provide the network details. I hope you got it. What is the use of configuration files? Like this configuration files blindly you can find from etc. Got it, guys? Yes, no? Good. Next, guys, it will take some time. So please be patient because today is a very, very important class we are discussing. So maybe few people's, maybe you'll have some different classes, but today try to compromise that because after completing the session from tomorrow onwards, I will leave you before 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. आज थोड़ा support कीजिए, right? Clear? all server related information. Different servers, different configuration files will have. So not only servers, so we'll have few packages related information and those all stuff, right? Okay. Next, /bin. So /bin contain all normal user executable commands. Please make a note, guys. So normal user executable commands. /bin contain normal user executable command. /sbin contain root user executable command. Sbin full form super user bin. Bin full form binary. Right? Clear? Got it? Bin contain normal user executable commands. For example, I'm login as a student user. I'm trying to creating few files and directories with the help of few commands. Those all the commands we are going to get from the bin. I'm login as a root user. I'm trying to executing few advanced commands. So those all we can able to get from sbin. Guys, remember, root user, he can able to execute any command anywhere in our operating system. But the normal user, it having the restricted access, only he can able to execute from bin. Clear? So bin contain normal user executable commands, sbin contain root user executable commands. Clear? Yes, no? Next. /usr. So usr contain program files. For example, if you're installing any application, if you're installing any commands, right? So by default, it is going to store inside the usr. Please explain etc one time. I lost connection. So etc contain all the configuration files, guys. Okay. So configuration file, blindly remember etc contain configuration files, right? So USR and OPT, optional for USR. So guys, if you're installing any application, if you're installing any commands, new commands into your operating system, right? Into your operating system, right? So by default, those all the commands and programs, it will store inside the USR. In Windows, we'll have the program files, right? If you're installing any application, it is going to store inside the USR. Clear? If you install the third-party programs, it is going to store inside the OPT. Optional for USR. OPT is optional for USR. If you want, you can use this OPT to store your personal data also. It's not a problem, right? So by default, if you're installing any application, so those all the applications and softwares and then commands, it will store inside the USR. If you install any third-party applications, so it is going to store inside the OPT. Okay. OPT is a optional for USR. USR contain program files. OPT is optional for USR. Clear? Next. /proc. Guys, proc full form process, right? Proc full form process. So from process word, they are taken PROC 4 letter, first 4 letters. Okay. So proc contain all the background running process. So generally in Windows, we'll have the task manager, right? So in task manager, we can able to find out all the running background process. So like the same way here. So from where we need to get the process in the sense from prog directory. So it's a virtual directories. It will keep on changing. The process, it will be keep on changing. Those all virtual directories will have. So prog contain all the background running process directories. And for example, someone they ask the question to you, guys, what type of system configuration you are using. So how you're going to check your RAM details and your processor details. So generally in Windows, right click on top of this PC and then we'll have the properties. If you go to the properties, it will show you. Coming to here in Linux, guys, every device details will have inside one file. So all the device details we can able to get from the files itself only. Okay. So now to print the file content, we should use the command called cat. Cat is a command to print the file content, right? So let's see here. Slash cat slash proc slash CPU info. So CPU info is a one file. It will be available inside the prog directory. So CPU info contain our processor details. Maybe if you're using i3 processor details, it will show you. i5, i7, what type of processor you're using, it will show you, right? The next cat proc mem info. So you'll get the memory details. Memory means RAM and swap. RAM and swap details will get, right? So now RAM, you know very well, dynamic RAM. So what is swap, guys? So it's a virtual RAM. It's a virtual RAM. For example, you are using very old desktop. Okay. In your desktop, you'll have the only 2 GB RAM. This 2 GB RAM, it's not enough for us to get the good performance from our operating system, in the sense that the 2 GB is not enough. Okay. I need to increase the RAM space. I need to increase the RAM space. Okay. Right. So it's a very old desktop, right? You doesn't have the another slot to add the new RAM. Got it? How you're going to increase the performance of your operating system? We are going to take some space from the hard disk. We'll have the secondary storage device, right? Hard disk. We are going to take some space from the hard disk. We are going to convert the space as a virtual RAM. Got it? I hope you're clear. So if the physical RAM, if it is full dynamic RAM, automatically the swap partition, it will active. It is going to support to the dynamic RAM, and then we'll get the good performance from our operating system. I hope you got it. So we need to provide usually we need to recommend it equal to RAM or double of the RAM we need to provide for swap. For example, if you're having the 2 GB RAM into your mission, we need to provide the 2 GB swap partition or 4 GB swap partition. Got it, guys? So I hope you're clear. Yes, no? So who said you are going to damage the hard disk? Huh? You're going to damage the hard disk. Who said? Hmm? Okay. Dilshad Hussein. What happened? In Windows also have. No, actually we'll have some different names. So we should go to the properties. There we can able to find out, you can able to activate as a swap partition. Let's see. So my computer properties. So this PC properties we should go, and then there we can able to find out. So let's see here. Guys, cat proc CPU info. It contain processor details. Cat proc mem info. It contain RAM and swap details. Okay, RAM and swap details, right? I think in Windows 7 directly, if you go to the properties, you will get all the information. In Windows 10 में थोड़ा ऑप्शन चेंज हो गया यहाँ पे. सो मैनेज में जाके देखो, एक बार पता चल जाए. 1 मिनट बताऊंगा मैं आप लोगों को. Right? So clear. So what is the difference between RAM and swap? RAM is a physical RAM. So if you're purchasing the laptop or desktop, you'll have the RAM. So if you like, you need to increase the RAM space, in the sense, no need to purchase the new RAM. Just you can take some space from the hard disk, you can convert this space as a virtual RAM. If the physical RAM, if it is full automatically, so it is going to support the virtual RAM, it will support. Okay. तो कहीं तो भी है यार वो. It is. So we'll have, but in Windows 7, so if you open the properties, you will get the one list now. So यहाँ पे properties अलग आ रहा है ना यहाँ पे. So you'll get one list, properties list. So there you will have the one tab. I forgot that name, so I will check. It's not a problem. Tomorrow I will tell you. Okay. In Windows 10 also we can able to create, so you can able to add some space, but actually it's not going to work like Linux. उतना effect नहीं रहता यहाँ पे. Windows पे कर सकते हो, मगर we doesn't have that much of effect in Windows. Okay. एडवांस सिस्टम सेटिंग्स कहाँ पे यार? वो एडवांस सिस्टम सेटिंग्स विंडोज पे. विंडोज शो के बहुत दिन हो गया. कहाँ पे है कपिल? आई थिंक ही इज गिविंग right side. Where? Here we'll have. Okay, good. In advanced system settings, yes, here we'll have. Here we'll have virtual RAM like this. We'll have. See. So this is the settings, guys. Advanced system settings. Go to the advanced performance. We'll have now. In performance, you should. So we need to select here. Customize, and so here virtual effect like processor should be memory using, and then virtual memory. So here you should, if you want, you can use pen drive also as a additional RAM. So if you want, you can take some space from the hard disk also, but it's not that much of effect. So it's not going to affect that much compared to Linux. Compared to Linux, so it's not going to that much of effective. So it's not going to work in Windows. We have the option, right? We'll have the option. Ready to boost, right? So clear? Good. Thank you, Kapil. So बहुत दिन हो गया है इस वजह से Windows touch करके, right? So clear, guys? I hope you're clear about RAM and swap, right? Good. Next directory, dev. So dev contain device files. So dev contain device files. So dev contain device files, guys. So device files means how you are going to find the devices in Windows, whether the device it's detected or not. Device manager. So we'll have the device manager option. So we need to right click on top of the disk PC and then manage. So we should open the device manager. There we can able to find out. So my processor is detected or not, my hard disk is detected or not, everything we can able to find out. So like the same way, dev contain all the device files. So we can able to find out the device files from the dev directory. For example, my hard disk it got detected or not. If I'm connecting the pen drive, whether it is detected or not. So we can able to find out from the dev directory. We'll have the SDA, SDB, SDA1, SDA2. So partitions. So all the partitions we can able to get from the dev directory. Clear, guys? Dev contain device files, keyboard, mouse, for example, hard disk. Those are all the files we can able to get from the dev directory. So block files, technically we need to call block files and character files, right? So don't worry, I will teach you later, okay? All the hardware devices connected with, yes, exactly. So couple, okay? So now let's see, guys, here, slash run. Run is a new directory, guys. Okay. So run is a new directory, slash run is a new directory. It contain so running services, real-time information, last boot information. So real-time data, guys, not information, real-time data, running services, last boot information inside the run will have. Okay. It's a new directory. It's introduced from RHEL 7.0 onwards. From RHEL 7.0 onwards, they introduced to us. Okay. Another session, DevOps. Yeah. So you'll have the another session. I can able to understand. So please today, so try to support, then 5 minutes, give me 5 minutes time. But anyway, we are unable to complete. We'll have the different directories we need to discuss, right? So run contain real-time data, running services, and last boot information and media. Inside the run, we'll have the one more directory called media, right? So media contain removable media. That means pen drive, like a pocket hard disk, right? DVD, and those all stuff, it will be coming under media. Removable media. Now, what is the difference between dev and run media, guys? I said dev also having the device files, right? That means pen drive and then DVD, there's those all stuff we can able to get from the dev. So what is the use of run media? So what is the use of run media, guys? A media contain removable media. Simple. Whether the device is detected or not, how you're going to identify in Windows, we need to go to the device manager. So can we able to store the data from device manager inside that particular device? It's possible. It's possible, guys. Always, it's not possible. We are unable to store the data from device manager. How we need to store the data inside the pen drive? We should open the My Computer and then so we need to access the pen drive, that particular drive later, then we need to store the data. So that is a difference here. Dev, it's a device manager. Run media, it's one type of My Computer. Got it? So exactly, it's not a My Computer. Only will get removable media, not all the media. Got it? Yes, no? Good. So run media. So run media contain removable media. Next, var. So var contain variable data and log files. Slash var contain variable data and log files. So variable data, right? And log files. Log files means what you are doing, the actions in your operating system, those all the actions, it will be recorded, right? Not recent, maybe 2 years activity also you'll get. Maybe before 2 years activities also you'll get. Not recent. So it depends upon your size. Okay. We'll have the log management concept. That is a different story. But here we are not going to cover the log management concept, right? So log contain login information. Log files contain login information. Simple guys. अपने जो बड़े लोग बोलते रहते हैं ना, so if you're doing something, so ऊपर भगवान देख रहा है, so कुछ गलती मत करो, everything it will be recorded. Like the same way in our operating system, if you're doing something into your operating system, all the actions, it will be recorded by login information. Those all text files will have. Inside those text files, what you're doing, the action, everything, it will be recorded. Like this files from where we need to get inside the var log. Clear? So what I'm trying to teaching to you people and online, everything it will be recorded. What I'm doing the action here, everything it will be recorded, right? Like the same way, what you are doing the actions in your operating system. So while you try to log in, by what time you log in, whether you log in successfully or not. Maybe some people that try to log in into your operating system, whether they log in successfully or not. By what time they log in. So what type of commands they executed. So because of why we got a downtime. So what is the use of log files? We can able to reduce the downtime. Downtime means? What is mean by downtime? Ideal time. Ideal time. Maybe you have the problem in your organization, technical issue. And then all the like employees, they're going to sit ideally. That is called downtime. Who's a responsible person to maintain the downtime without 99.9%? I think you people, you didn't attend the first class, right? First class, starting class. So, okay, no issues. Right, admin only, right, good. So administrator, he is going to manage the downtime, okay? Clear? And we'll have the 2 directories, guys, please. Because it's a little bit big chapter. So if I'm finishing in a one session, it's a good, because you people, you can able to understand very clearly. So अगर मैं अभी stop करके फिर कल अगर पढ़ा दिया मैं, then maybe you have some confusion, right? Can I stop now? Huh? Right, okay. MNT is a one directory. It contain nothing. Empty directory. Right? So why we are going to use this MNT directory? To very good, to create the main point. Sahil. Kahan the Sahil abhi tak? Huh? I'm not getting any response from you. Huh? Late login. Instead of drive letter, you're going to use the MNT in Linux. In Windows, we'll have the drive letter, right? So without drive letter, can we able to access the data? So it's not a, you're not remembering me, sir. Okay, I remember you, because of that reason I'm asking, guys. Huh? Right. So here we doesn't have the drive letter. We are going to use MNT. It's a one empty directory to create the mount point for any partition. So it's not like this. We should use MNT. If you want, you can use any empty directory. You can create your own directory, you can utilize it. Okay. So don't worry. So while we are discussing about disk management concept, I will practically show you. Okay. Then last directory, guys, please. Lib is a directory. It contains library files. Yeah, 7:30. और एक 1 minute है ना, राहुल. So आज एक दिन थोड़ा So compromise कर लीजिए, right? So please try to understand. I'm going to wind up the session now. Okay. So /lib contain library files. Library files means in Windows we'll have the DLL files, right? So we'll have the DLL files in Windows, right, guys? So what is the use of DLL files in Windows? It will support to us to run the operating system, to access the operating system in background. Like those files we can able to find from the lib. Clear? So that's it. And we'll have few symbolic links. I will teach you tomorrow. अगर नहीं तो आप लोग online में से बाहर आके मेरे को, right? Okay. Clear?